go in normal Celeste this though. Also, my things are without mic so that I can basically just concentrate on getting them done as quickly as possible. But this is a little different because if I tried to fit this all into the description, it would overflow, basically. So I've talked a bit about, in the past, I've talked about the Celeste Randomizer, which I will put the link to again in the description below. Obviously, you have to have Everest, which you can install using Olympus, new loader. No protocol to run the mod, and I believe it only works on PC, not on Switch or any other device. But essentially what it does is it creates this randomizer instead of as a level, as a section that you can actually combine. So there are 3 choices of random generation that you can get. You can get pathway, which functions essentially like a normal B-side, A-side or B-side, which there's one path. There's an end chapter screen at the end of the path, and you stop at one place, and you progress barrier rows, which I'll explain more in a bit. But there's only one ending. There's a labyrinth, in which you begin in the 6A room, which is slightly edited, I believe. So the 6A room that I'm talking about is the one where you talk to Granny at the bottom of the mountain. This is the one where you can, if you go up, you'll find the secret dev room with Ogmo and all the other little secret characters in it. So it's edited to have a hallret there where that functions exactly the same way as the Summit A hallret, crystal hallret, in which you have to collect various numbers of gems, maximum 6, I believe minimum 3, in order to release the crystal hallret from its spinner contained spinner place, so that you can collect it. So you go through essentially a maze to find all of the gems, and then you have to make your way back to the hallret and protocol to collect it in the same screen you started on. And Endless works exactly the same as Pathway, except you have a separate number of lives. Default is 3 lives, in which you go through. Functionally, it's exactly the same as a Pathway level. You go through a separate number of rooms. I'm not sure exactly. I want to say normally it's between 15 and 20. And then you'll beat stages. So you'll beat stage 1, and then you will get another strawberry, which is your life counter. And you go through another set of random rooms. And your scope changes on heightens or lower res. I'm not exactly sure what's better or higher or low scope, but it changes as you go on, as you spend more time, as you die more often, and as you continue stages. One problem with Endless currently is that if you die and you use a berry to get an extra life, it gives you the 1-up achievement, which you can normally get by obtaining 6 berries without collecting them, and then collecting them all at the same time. This is normally you get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 5,000, and the 6th one is a 1-up, and that's a Steam achievement, and probably achievement elsewhere as well. I own the game on Steam, so that's something enough. I'll play all 3 of these. Start the pathway. So then there's difficulty. 6 difficulties currently. The only visual thing that changes on difficulty is the whole rate, basically. The color of the whole rate changes. And the rest is just a difficulty scale. So easy is if you're new to Celeste and you want to basically mess around, or like complete rooms with that need 1 dash, or no dashes with like 2 dashes. Then there's normal, which is what most what I play on is normal. Trying to get into export and top as well. But normal is basically mostly A-sides, sometimes B-sides, sometimes farewell. Credit is you've beaten farewell and C-sides, and you know some tech. I'm not sure exactly what's required, right? But I assume wave dashing, since that's in farewell, wall bouncing, hyper dashing, possibly demos, although that might be an export thing. Export is all advanced techniques, so that's demo, hyper dash, wave dash, ultra, spike jump, I assume as well. Mad Stalker is probably the highest difficulty you want to play on. So you'll be given rooms that, for example, summon A rooms that normally require 2 dashes to do with 1 dash. It's actually pretty fun to sort of puzzle out, like, oh, how do I do this room with this restriction, or how do I do this backwards? No matter what your skill level, it is recommended to not play on perfect, which is just pixel precise, frame precise, very not fun in any way. Then there's the settings, which you can actually change all of the normal things based on this. So start obviously begins the randomizer. You have competitive play, which gives you all of the default rule set options. So when seeded weeklies are held in the Discord, then they'll usually have a letter associated with them. Default goes up to H. If you have other mods installed that have randomized config, those are added as well. So, for example, I have the D-side installed. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F for the D-sides, and I also have the collab installed, ABC, which is currently the again offer. This, I believe, randomized config also works for Path of Hope and Glyph and Easel's Seasides. So I'm going to show you custom, and then I'll play it on default. But default essentially locks in all these settings and change them, or at least not most of them. So you can either have custom seed, like this was the most recent weekly seed, was Lemon weekly seeds, given by Gremlot, who is the creator of this randomizer, and they tend to be fruits. Yeah, that's this thing. So that's custom. You can also have it be random, in which it will generate some string, generally 6 to 7 characters long, consisting of numbers and lines. Then you have length. So you shortcut pathway generally takes around 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes for me to complete. Medium can take up to like 10 to 15 minutes. Long takes maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. The enormous takes quite a long time. This also, all of these are independent of pathway and difficulty, so you can have a enormous labyrinth or a long, and actually I don't know if you can have long and less, because that's not really, that might toggle the how long the stages are, right? But obviously endless has no, which will you die all the time. Then you can play no dash, you can play 1 dash and 2 dash, those are my options. No dash sheets are actually pretty fun. I would recommend trying at least one. Then obviously pathway, labyrinth, endless, and with endless you get to choose anything. You have infinite lives, which is just as long as you want. possibly. 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 50 lives max. The default is 3. Then, of course, difficulty you can change as well as you never know how fast, but let's try and perfect. So that's the basic gameplay options. Then you have level select. So again, this depends on what configs you have. You can toggle on roll. So that means if you have 0 rooms available, you can't generate something. For example, if I'm playing on easy shortcut pathway and I tried to turn on all the seasides in farewell, it wouldn't be able to generate anything because that is too high for difficulty. So you can turn on that. With all of the ones I have 1612. If you're preset to default, it'll go back to I guess it does not. I thought it would only go back to the vanilla, but I can preset that now actually. So the default is 812 rooms, which is all of vanilla Celeste essentially. You have prologue, A, B, C, for levels 1 through 8, and you have epilogue and you have farewell. Config exists for Path of Hope as well. The A, B, and C sides and the D side. Also exists for monochromatic D sides. All of them. And it exists for collab. If you turn off all of these, you just won't get any of the rooms. It also exists for this map, interesting. I did not realize that. There's still, depending on what randomizer configs you have installed, so like the collab one I have is separate. There's also the randomizer helper, which will link in the description. But there's a chance to get music from one of those maps. So I get Path of Hope music pretty often, which is why I reinstalled the collab randomizer, but I don't really like randomizing with vanilla rooms mixed with Celeste vanilla, really any mods mixed with Celeste vanilla, but it's, the collab music is good, and I want to get random. So then advanced gameplay, you have subscriber by density, which I believe is still currently broken. It's recommended to keep it at 9, at least for the couple sets. This is just how many bureaucratic rooms appear essentially. So you have low, high, and none. And even on none, you will still get some bureaucratic rooms, and that's a bug. Difficulty eagerness is basically how, if you're doing really well, then it will give you more difficult rooms, depending on how low or high you toggle this. So you can have none to just have it, completely baseline. Low is okay, maybe you complete 20 rooms, not really easy, so then it'll give you a harder room. Medium is default, and high is like, just kind of lack of it. So repeat rooms, basically, this is very helpful if you're doing a small number of rooms, like, let's say you want to do all seasides. You would want to turn on repeat rooms in order to be able to generate them out. I would not necessarily recommend doing this unless you really want to practice the seasides, because I'll do this, and based on how the map entrances line up, if you don't have strange holes on, if you get to the last room, or sorry, the second room of 1C, it will lead into the second room of 2C, and that will continue in a loop for almost 10 rooms until you end on 3C or press 6C, I believe, for the 2 end rooms of problem. So that can be awful fun. Strange holes basically makes it so if you die in a normal place, and I'll show this again when I actually play the randomizer, if there's a hole in which you would normally die, that might be the entrance to your room. So you might have to fall to your death multiple times in order to actually find the hole you need to exit in. It's fun to play with, but it's really jank. Golden is exactly what it sounds like. It just plops a golden at the very beginning of the level, and then you can try to golden randomize over the specific seed that you get. Random seed. And variance. I'm not exactly sure what this does. I believe it enables something else, so you can play with variant on. It might also be the extended variance randomize program. Which we will randomize variance as well as variance. Then you have cosmetic options. So illuminate path is, if we're not sure where to go, there's a little white light shining from a room that is an exit. It's defaulted in hover rooms only, which is essentially just, for example, the key room in the Farewell with 6 locks, or 5 locks, I forget how many locks, or the room in 5A with locks, or the room in 3A with huge mess. It's for help rooms, so illuminate paths. We also have it off, a little more difficult, and on we'll just have it for every single room. Dark rooms, always just play with completely dark rooms all the time. And vanilla is only, not vanilla. Dark rooms are like the rooms in, I want to say like 9D rooms, but I'm not entirely certain because actually I've not played with dark rooms. But this is default, never. Randomized decorations. All of these randomized decorations, ambient color and foreground background is automatically on. You can turn these off if you don't like them. Sometimes it can get a little bit annoying, but for the most part I think it's fun. But basically what it does is decoration, think entity, and decals. So, for example, actually, are decals randomized? No, they're not. I'm not sure if stylograms are randomized yet. I thought they were, I'm not sure, but this, for example, if you have a moving spinnaker, or a moving dust bunny, it could be replaced with a moving blade, which is the one in the temple, or a moving starfish. Ooh, those are the 3 options you have, right? It will also randomize spinnaker color and spikes. So you could have normal spikes, you could have tentacles. You can add various types of spikes, stuff like that. Ambient color will randomize background, brightness, bloom, and this tends to stay for the entire course. Randomize, it won't change bloom necessarily across screens. This also does like color shading. So for example, the color shading in Temple is different from color shading in the Farewell Golden Room, for example. It's a little bit of a spoiler for that. Foreground background effects, for example, is like the little falling particles that we get once you get to 5.5 inside. Rather than this will also randomize backgrounds. So you could be in a golden fridge room and you'd have the little reflection crystals in the background, something like that. This is the default, so I'm going to show Lemonade. This was the old Intricacy, which I did grind a little bit. So these are fun to see what you're looking at, try to speed them. I'll play it without speedrunning for us though, so I can explain some things. So first of all, it will randomize music. So this time it is Culprit of the Mountain, the Culprit. And this will also randomize layovers. So if I go into another room, it might add the, right now it's cold theme, it might add the synth and stuff to create the hot theme. So you could go up. Here you can't go up though. You see it's soft locks here. You can also see this on the map in debug mode. You'll click here, and as you can see, there's no room located above. But as you can see, this is 3A, this is a 5A room, and it just plops it together because the entrances line up. You'll also see that there is currently wind snow falling pretty slowly, not a very high amount. That's all these pink things floating down. You can see through the window that the background is the second city background. It's also kind of colorful, so it's like a salmonish, dark salmon pink. You have some of the purple suckers floating around in upper red. It looks like you have a tree or something else in the background that's green. Not exactly sure what that is. Another site that's purple, and then the coal ground of the big top, which is red. So it kind of goes all the way back with that. Play a room. Right. Details are kind of randomized. I should have said that earlier. And then here, I guess you just don't get any music at all. No, you do. There you go. So this is a barefaced room, but because density is off, you will get no bareface. So if you do all of this, you will not get a bareface. Very sad. You can also see that it has randomized these spin-offers and spikes. I'm not sure if these are red originally. This is a 5A room. I believe red spikes are from, red spin-offers are from 5B. No, those are from 5A as well. But just, it might be a little bit high bloom, like bloom 120% or so. There's quite a lot of right present there from normally. Compared to the lighting, compared to total lighting. You can also see, of course, that these spikes at the very bottom are reflection and they're spikes. Then it pops you in reflection instead of normal spin or color here, where you get the rainbow spin from very well. So you can see the background a little bit more. And again, because of the way entrances are, even though there's a thing here, you won't be able to get in unless if you actually go at the entrance. Again, pretty substantial gameplay. So here is an example from 2 exits. Again. So again, you cannot go here over. You can go up here though. And as you can see, it just sort of continues like this. Not really much more to say about that one. If you restart it, it will give you the same seed. Okay, I'm not sure what it is between these guys. So, one thing I will also say is that if you change the randomizer config maps that you have enabled, like I did not have the collab enabled initially before this video, then it will reset the random music. So this used to be a song. After I finish this, I'll show you what the ending room generally looks like. Not that room yet. We'll move on to Labyrinth. Actually, for this, I will show a masked seed and show what that looks like. That was also a weekly seed for President last week. As you can see, this is a B-side cruise, otherwise for A-side cruise. Here is a hub room, so you can see white light coming from this area. So this is an entrance/exit. not highlighted, so you can actually go through it. Of course, this top one, so obviously it must be the bottom one. Sometimes it will, even in pathway, require you to go for keys. So you could try the top exit and find it before something. As soon as you get a key, though, it becomes pretty apparent that you can just grab it and then die, and you will recollect the key at the beginning. You can also see again the spikes are randomized here, so with this Oranger's Thread, mostly Oranger's Thread background, you have tentacles. In earlier versions of Randomizer, they did not have these black outlines just because they don't from the base game, but that made doing some of these frames very difficult visually. But once you have the key, you can go back. Okay, and now that you've done that, it looks like it's momentarily has opened a new layout for music. That's actually cool. So it's just the face. Every pass and every pass those crawling here as well. You can't level up, but again, it will stop you as if there's an invisible ceiling. This is the same. Normal Vulcan, or not Vulcan, normal and Blaine. There's no longer. We all know and love. I believe this is the last script, the second to last script. Over in 5P. Sometimes you can blaze for jelly with a field rescue for this, once you buy this. Little side and this, then the screen is either going to be a cutscene or a hall print, much like this, like the cassette room. See that a little bit further forward to show some interesting features of randomized quantities like dialogue, and present dialogue. But the whole text will be randomized as well, so press true. And when you have the chapter complete, it will show you the hash as well, which is useful if you're trying to reproduce a blog or get other people to play the same state as you. So that's normal difficulty. What if we set the custom difficulty to master? What would that look like? Well, it would look like this. Now that I've installed the collab randomizer thing, I have collab music. This is chill out that one. I go for 90. Dialogue is also randomized. So, clearly this is a normal presidential suit. Sweet. And Granny is picture up. Of course, you can skip all these cutscenes as well. Continue with Granny. It will also take dialogue from non-original things, so if you want this one, you can dialogue from that. Install the dialogue options. has, this is the room that appears in Labyrinth. It is a row of spinal press along the area that I'm probably going to jump. That's what the spinal press on front, and I'll right up to over in this little nook. All the gems are on the ground. And you have to go out and collect them. So this is, most of master rooms, or some of them, tend to be fairly simple. And then all the press precious. Like this is a sheet row room, it's not pretty big, but you have to do it backwards. I believe this is possible without screen transition, but it's easiest to do with this is essentially you have to get your extended especially because normally the little rolls and dash would apply to you, so if you dash, you would not need for dash back around. But that does not happen in the Randomizer. You can always quit in the middle, that's all. Then B-sides will be 2-, and Drenofairy tend to be medium. So, like, what is a good 2- seed? It's like an old fruits. Let's try the mango bee. 2 dashes. Once again. That wasn't lit up, but it will tend to be long over. Not necessarily, but it will fail. That is not very easy. Always check the reactions as well. Could be. That also could be, I said. So, you know, I did well there, I'll press an option maybe well through. It's actually still pretty easy. Especially with 2 dashes. Especially because I'm not playing on the beta, which it's soft locksy from doing. Hard locksy from going back. And then, you know, get a nice little call room. That's basically what B is like. Next up we have the labyrinths. So standard labyrinth is like this. What is a labyrinth? Let's do a fringe. So labyrinth stand is going to medium 1 dash. Oh hell yeah! Okay. Good music. It looks like this wants me to get all 6 gems. Text is also advanced. It's mess dedicated to those who dashed for the potato. Aww. We'll get some interesting rooms back. Especially with all the particle effects, it can be a little bit challenging. I believe this is pretty simple. I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do here randomly. Especially considering this is a standoff, so it should be difficulty normal. So it looks like this is going to be a gem. Gems can be in places of normal gems, they can be in places of strawberries, and they can be in the place of keys. They might be able to be in the place of blue crystal hearts as well, I'm not surprising. Okay, and this room looks like it has absolutely nothing in it. Sometimes it will give you rooms like that. Try to do jellies and jelly recipe together. So I'm just take a jelly with you. Nice. This section of the song sounds a hell of a lot like one of the very old songs from music. And you know, from Geometry Dash or anything. I can't place it. So here we go. Not an expert on all the little joy techniques. Pretty sure I did not just let go of that. Maybe it is best to try to do this one. Yeah. And you'll get into some creatives like this. Don't want to lose jelly friend. Of course, if you die once, the jelly is gone, so you don't want to die. Also want to ideally get up into this room with jelly. It might require some interesting techniques. There we go. Let's see how long it goes. And then of course you can just do the nicknames normally, except this time it is backwards. But nonetheless as intended. Let's see if this is a gem. It is not, but it is a transition. This is an interesting thing to do backwards. I'm also making this video because I'm going to start doing some randomizer videos. Just seeds or random seeds. You can also take the prep quest with you into the next room, which, you know, want to shoot something. Because it looks like this is a gem. Actually, hold on. I think I know the issue here, because I don't see a gem, you know? The issue is that without stronger identity on, you won't be able to find gems. So the gems will not be there. So I don't really recommend playing Labyrinth. I'm sure there's a way to fix that, but anyway, standard endless takes a level. Let's, for example, do what's it? Standard endless one. Let's do a random seed. Let's just say do that. So random seed, you have 1 dash 3 lives. If you die 3 times, it's so okay. This is just also this is the whole red side. This is just it's funny. I was watching someone do this yesterday. Let's see. Yep, so see, we'll give you the one off thing. If you die, you technically have 4 lives. Once you use up, you still have 1 more life, and then you won't actually die in real life. I don't know why I clicked onto the spring tower. And then it'll just end. So I'm gonna keep going until I actually get to a stage. Okay, this is some key, down. To use your key at some point in time, and you won't always be immediate. In fact, it almost rarely is immediate. This is a little bit jank, I will say. This room is a bit jank. As you can see, I've already failed. As you can tell, proper for these is fairly frequent for some reason. It will also give you buried rooms, which give you an opportunity to gain It is in the thermal though, and also a little weird redlight difficulty. It also enjoys giving this spin. Here's an example of different lighting. Different room which spawns you right into death. We have two options. This looks like the correct path. Let's see if we can get the very path without dying. Nope. Pointless. You also cannot reset that phase. I'm gonna end the video there. I'm not gonna get through an endless, it looks like. This is a little tutorial on how Randomizer works. That was interesting. Since it was 50 minutes long. If you enjoy and please comment for something. I'm not very active on YouTube. Much more active on Twitch. Pretty close to affiliate there as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah. That's it. Thanks for watching.